If I told y'all think of y'all favorite hero, who would y'all think about? Probably like Superman, Spider-Man, The Flash, right? Maybe even Fraud Man. Well, technically speaking, if he has prep time, shut your bitch ass up. There's not a lick of prep time in the world that's helping him beat the Flash. Cut it out. Now, I can sit here and slander Bat Bitch all day, but that's not what this video is about. We're here to talk about the one and only Hancock. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could a nigga named Hancock be a serious threat to anyone, right? And you be right in thinking that, if this nigga wasn't a menace. So today, we about to put Hancock ass on trial. Make sure you grab your popcorn, your Thanksgiving leftovers, and let's do it. We start this video off with an instant batch of evidence. The nigga's laying down on the bench drunk in front of a child. That's already a flagrant one, my nigga. He then sits up and tells the kid to get the hell out of his face. I would get out of flagrant, but I don't want to be bothered when I wake up either. After running the kid off, he then sits up and then commits his second flagrant of the video. Nah, you're not about to sit here and sexually assault somebody on camera and think that's not gonna earn you a flagrant 2. At this rate, he might run down Draymond Green himself. We fast forward a little bit to the thugs that the kid wanted Hancock to stop. And I know what you're thinking. Why the fuck would Hancock care? And the answer is relatively simple. He was called an asshole. I don't know why that affects him so much, but he hates being called that. After finding his way into their car, Hancock then attempts to reason with them. But as you guessed, they wasn't having none of that shit. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you right there. Nigga, once that first bullet landed and he wasn't dead, I was jumping the fuck out the car. And we all know, it's only one thing worse than a drunk man. A drunk man who's invincible. And as you guessed, this pissed him off so much that he took these niggas for a ride. Even as going as far as the slamming niggas in the building, dropping them, and almost killing them. And I know what you're thinking. Vari, this should be enough to earn him another flagrant, right? Yeah, you would be completely right. But there's things on this list that is far worse than what the fuck he did in the first part of the movie. Alright, niggas and niggettes, we're gonna move on to the next part of Mr. Hancock's case. And if you thought that last batch of evidence was bad, this one is by far the worst one yet. We fast forward to Hancock talking to this guy named Ray Embry. And just to give y'all context, Ray Embry is a dude that Hancock saved from a train. Even though he did it in the most inhumane way possible. Like, nah, seriously, he stopped the entire train with his body. I just know for a fact the workers that gotta clean that shit up mad as hell right now. And to be real, they better than me. I just would clock out and never come back. But anyway, Ray sees that Hancock has hella potential to be a good guy. Even going as far as to pitch the idea of him becoming a hero. Obviously, Hancock was kind of skeptical about this shit because he already done so much bad in the world already as is. Leaving niggas on top of a building, telling kids to get the fuck out of his face, sexual assault, as well as causing thousands, maybe even millions of dollars of property damage. But other than that, he's a pretty good guy. So eventually, Ray convinces Hancock to become a good guy. But if I was Hancock, this is where I had to draw the goddamn line. Ray had the courage to muster up his lips and say, well, if you're gonna become a good guy, it's probably best if you turn yourself in. Bitch, what? Like, nigga, are you trying to help me or get me off the streets? If I was Hancock, I would have started questioning if bro works for the FBI or something. Hancock then agrees to go to prison and serve out a sentence for all the damage and harm that he has caused. And I know what y'all thinking. Vari, where does the flagrants come in at? Where's the bad part? It sounds like it's all good things, right? My nigga, you couldn't be more wrong. This nigga Hancock did something so inhumane, so disgusting, so nasty that you can never fathom it. But don't worry, we gonna get there. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, man. I appreciate y'all if y'all are watching this video. Many more to come, I promise you. Love y'all. Now let's get back to business. So Hancock then agrees to go to prison. He goes through the entire process without complaining or anything. No struggle or nothing. Well, that's at least what we thought until the first day he got in there. Not even 24 hours after he got booked, niggas already start messing with him. Now, this is the one and only problem I have with this part. Why would you pick on the strongest nigga in the world? A nigga who can fly, has super strength and super speed. Are you dumb? Actually, come to think of it, look at this nigga's build. He's dumb and fat. It makes sense. A bunch of the convicts then proceed to huddle around Hancock, which does make sense considering he did put a lot of those niggas in there. But the funniest part about all this is, bro, the nigga stopped the whole train with his body. I don't give a fuck how many niggas it is. Y'all are not killing him. Hancock then attempts to reason with him, saying that he'll mind his business as long as they mind theirs. But like most niggas in prison, they wasn't trying to hear that shit. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where the bullshit starts. After asking them to move away a couple times, Hancock then gets annoyed, where he then pulls out his famous line.
You don't move, your head is going up his ass.
And this must be where the term rage bait came from. He said, do you want to ride this train? And the nigga said, choo choo. And without even thinking about it, he did it. Nigga, if this ain't the face of regret and sorrow, I don't know. And then to top it all off, you got this nigga Hancock in the back looking like a proud father. Look at the stance, bruh. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bruh. I'm not gonna give Hancock a flagrant for this one, bruh. He gave those niggas countless chances to walk away. Alright, so now we're gonna move on to the next batch of evidence I got for Hancock. We fast forward some more in the movie to see that Hancock is becoming an established, respectable superhero. Even going as far as to stop a bank robbery. And I was starting to gain a little more respect for him. I started respecting him a little bit. Until we got hit with the greatest plot twist of all of mankind. It turns out Ray little bitch was Hancock's little bitch. And Hancock's little bitch is Ray's little bitch. That's the simplest way I can explain it without getting into the lore and all that shit. But I'm pretty sure Hancock and her were like fallen angels or some shit. That shit I don't know. But what I do know though is Hancock is an L man. Granted, I think he lost his memory or some shit. But the moment I would have got it back, I was telling my nigga Ray, your girl's a hoe. To add more on top of that, she's just like Hancock. Just as strong, just as fast, and everything else, bruh. She maxed this nigga out, even though he was not trying to fight her, in my opinion. She maxed this nigga out. And then to top it all off, he gonna kiss this nigga Ray bitch, bro, with a fresh ass suit and a fresh ass lineup. If this ain't a flagrant, bro, I don't know what is. And then, bro, to add more fuel to the fire, she gonna grab this nigga and throw him around the room and throw him out the house. Look at the look on Hancock's face, bro. That's a face of a nigga that's horny, happy, and scared, bro. I know that face. So then the bop threatens Hancock and said he better not tell Ray about this or she gonna whoop his ass again, I assume. And you know what's funny about this? How did Ray not hear none of that? That nigga must be knocked out. He must be was off that Luna. Had to be. So the next morning rolls around and Ray wakes up and sees the damage done to the house. Shawty just lies and said Hancock sneezed and blew a hole through the fucking house, which I mean, kind of makes sense considering the nigga got powers and we don't know the full extent of it. Hancock then ends up walking in on her telling a lie, which he goes along with just for the sake of his friendship with Ray. But I guess he was still in shock from the night before, so he starts trying these tests on her, I guess. I really don't understand why though. You got all the evidence you need right there. She grabbed you and threw you through a fucking house. What more do you need? After poking her with a fork and hitting her with a roller, they agree to talk later on. She then meets Hancock at his house where they go to discuss what they are and who they are. And like I said, they were angels or something like that. Angels or gods who have been living for multiple years. Hancock then asked the question, what are they to one another? Which she lies and say brother and sister. But you know, it's a tiny bit weird for brother and sister to be kissing, you know. And I wouldn't even say tiny. A large amount weird. She storms out after Hancock catches her in a lie, to where he says he's just gonna go tell Ray instead. And if you ask me, I was getting ready to remove a point for him. Shit, do something good, you know, I'd appreciate that. As he goes to flies off, she flies behind this nigga and tackles this nigga midair, crashing into a heavily populated street with a lot of bystanders around. And after screaming at each other like two big ass kids, he eventually calls her crazy. And you know how calling Hancock an asshole is a trigger word for him, right? Now, to be fair, she was acting just a little bit crazy. I mean, so crazy that she summoned an entire storm and hit this nigga Hancock with a whole truck.
All right, hold it. All right. Better not hit me with that truck.
And the funny thing about it, how did no one see this? It was literally people lined up on the streets that they all just run away when she picked the goddamn truck up. She then spawns in like 5 tornadoes out of anger, while Hancock and her are fighting through the air. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my final bit of evidence for the video. While fighting, they crash into the building that Ray was giving his presentation in. And guess what? She decides to give up, fighting, resisting, right in front of the area where everybody can see it and Ray can see it too. And take a good long look at Ray's face. This is a man who is in distraught and feels nothing but straight betrayal. Yo, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. If you had fun with the video, please leave me a like and a comment, bruh. If y'all want me to do a breakdown of the ending fight scene at the end and whatnot, bro, I'll do that for y'all. Just let me know. Ask for it. Shit, comment it. But I appreciate the love, bro. Make sure y'all tune in, bro. Deuces.